Imagine waking up on the first warm day of spring. The birds are singing, the sun is finally hitting your face, and the world is waking up. But inside, you feel heavy, sluggish, like the winter gray never left your bones. You took your vitamin D, you drank the water, you even did that meditation app every single morning. So why is the energy still stuck? Why does it feel like your spirit is lagging behind the season? Because you missed the February window to plant your own personal pharmacy and spiritual fortress. You see, February isn't just a cold, dead month where we wait for spring. It is a portal. It is the gestation period. And if you don't start these seeds now, you aren't just delaying your garden, you're delaying your healing. Today we are going to fix that. Today we aren't just gardening, we are building a botanical shield. I'm going to show you 10 sacred herbs you absolutely need to start indoors right now in February, to unlock deep healing by the time the spring equinox hits. We're combining ancient spiritual wisdom with hard science to create a sanctuary that feeds your body and protects your energy. But there is a catch. Some of these are incredibly picky about how they wake up. If you treat them like regular vegetables, they will fail. I'm going to give you the specific germination codes for each one so you don't waste your time. Let's get growing. First up, we have the ultimate peacekeeper, lavender. Spiritually, this is your energetic broom. It sweeps away anxiety, cleanses stagnant vibes, and creates a barrier of tranquility around your home. If your home feels chaotic, lavender is the frequency shift you need. Science backs this up with a compound called linalool. Studies have shown that simply inhaling linalool interacts with your neurotransmitters to physically lower anxiety levels and sedation in the brain. It's not just a nice smell, it is chemical de-escalation for your nervous system. But here is the catch. Lavender is a heavy sleeper. If you just toss these seeds in dirt today, they will ignore you. They need cold stratification. It's like a winter fake-out. In nature, lavender seeds need to go through a freeze to know it's safe to sprout. I want you to put your seed packet in the fridge for 2 weeks before planting. That cold snaps them into action. Once grown, place a sachet under your pillow. It's not just a scent, it's a biological signal to your body that the war of the day is over, and it is safe to rest. Next, we have the cleanser, sage. Now, I know you've seen sage bundles for clearing negative energy. That's ancient wisdom that spans cultures. It represents immortality and wisdom. But scientifically, sage is a powerhouse of rosmarinic acid. This compound is a cognitive booster that literally improves memory and focus. Think of it as a defogger for your brain when you are feeling that winter brain fog. It is also powerfully anti-inflammatory, soothing the body as well as the mind. So, why does it fail for so many beginners? Because you bury it alive. Sage seeds need light to germinate. They are looking for the sun. Do not cover them with soil. Press them gently onto the surface of your starting mix and use a humidity dome to keep them moist. They are slow to start, they take their time, but once they establish, they are resilient. By planting now, you'll have a harvest ready for spring cleaning rituals. Use the dried leaves for smoke cleansing, or gargle a strong sage tea for a sore throat. It clears the air and the inflammation. Now we arrive at royalty, holy basil, or Tulsi. In India, this plant is an avatar of the goddess herself. It is pure devotion and grounding energy, often planted at the entrance of homes for divine protection. But in the lab, it's classified as a premier adaptogen. It helps your body adapt to stress physically. It contains eugenol and other compounds that help lower cortisol levels and regulate blood sugar. If you are feeling burnt out or tired but wired, Tulsi is the medicine you need. But wait, Tulsi is a tropical diva. She hates cold feet. If your house is drafty in February or if you put her next to a cold window, she won't sprout. You need a heat mat under your seed tray. Keep the soil temperature around 70 to 75 degrees. Treat her like a queen, and she will reward you. We start her now so she is robust enough to handle the transition outdoors in late spring. Drink Tulsi tea daily to align your spirit and shield your adrenals from modern burnout. It is a daily ritual of self-love. Number 4 is the guardian, rosemary. Folklore says growing this by your front door keeps thieves and bad dreams away. It represents fidelity, remembrance, and holding on to what matters. Scientifically, it contains carnosic acid, which is neuroprotective. It literally fights off free radicals in your brain, protecting your neurons from damage and aging. It is the herb of focus and memory. So, what's the golden rule for rosemary? Patience. These seeds are notorious for low germination rates, sometimes as low as 30%. I honestly recommend sowing 3 times as many seeds as you think you need. Start them now because they grow incredibly slowly. Keep the soil moist but not soggy, or they will rot. It can take 3 weeks just to see a green speck, but once it grows, hang a bundle in the shower. The steam releases the volatile oils, clearing your sinuses and your aura simultaneously. It washes away the confusion of the day. If you feel heartbroken, emotionally raw, or just overwhelmed by the news, you need the Soother, lemon balm. It's associated with the moon and emotional healing. It gladdens the heart. Science calls it a nervine relaxant thanks to citronellol and rosmarinic acid. It calms the nervous system without making you sleepy, lifting your mood and easing mild depression. It's like sunshine in a leaf. Like sage, lemon balm is a light seeker. Do not bury the seeds. Sprinkle them on top. But here's the warning. And this is a big one. Lemon balm is in the mint family. It is a runner. It will try to take over your entire garden if you let it. It's aggressive with its love. Start it in a separate pot now, and plan to keep it in a plant jail, a container, forever. Use fresh leaves in a bath. It's like soaking in liquid optimism. Starting it in February ensures you have big, lush leaves ready for the first stressful days of spring. Next is thyme. Ancient warriors used to bathe in thyme for courage before battle, and in the Middle Ages, it was placed under pillows to ward off nightmares. It represents strength in the face of adversity, and scientifically, it contains thymol, a potent antiseptic and antimicrobial. It's a respiratory warrior that fights infections in the lungs and throat. It is the brave defender of your immune system. The seeds are microscopic. It's like sneezing dust onto the soil. Do not try to plant them one by one. You will go crazy. Sprinkle them on the surface and barely dust them with vermiculite. They need to stay moist to germinate. We start thyme now because it takes a long time to establish a good root system. Once grown, a strong thyme tea with honey is my go-to when I feel a cold or a crisis of confidence coming on. It strengthens the throat chakra, helping you speak your truth, and boosts the immune system. Number 7 is the shield, Echinacea. This is your deep immune defense. Spiritually, it amplifies the power of your inner voice and prayers. It is a tall, strong plant that stands guard over the garden. Scientifically, the polysaccharides and alkamides in the roots and flowers stimulate your white blood cells to get to work. It wakes up your body's natural army to fight off invaders. But Echinacea is wild at heart. Like lavender, it needs that winter fake-out. It has a hard seed coat that needs cold and moisture to break down. Into the fridge with the seeds, mixed in damp sand or a paper towel, for at least 4 weeks. If you skip this, you'll get spotty germination and weak plants. Start the chilling process today. Later in the year, you'll harvest the roots for a decoction that acts like a suit of armor against flu season. It is a long-game plant, but the protection is worth the wait. Here, we have the warrior, Yarrow. Legends say Achilles used this to heal his soldiers' wounds during the Trojan War. It is the herb of boundaries and psychic protection. If you are an empath who absorbs everyone else's emotions, you need Yarrow. The compound achillene actually stops bleeding and regulates blood flow. It knits the skin back together, just as it knits your energy field back together. Yarrow is eager to please. It germinates easily indoors under lights, usually within a week or 2. But it needs space. Don't crowd the seedlings. When you sow them now, you are preparing a powerful ally for the summer. When you feel overwhelmed by the world, or like you're leaking energy, use a yarrow flower essence, or tea, to knit your energetic boundaries back together. It teaches you where you end, and the world begins. It is the ultimate boundary setter for your garden and your soul. Number 9 is the Awakener, Peppermint. It clears the fog, bringing prosperity, alertness, and clarity. Menthol is the magic bullet here. It's a pain reliever, a digestive aid, and an instant energy shift. It cools the body and wakes up the mind. If you are feeling stagnant or stuck in a rut, peppermint breaks that energy up immediately. But remember when I talked about bullies in the garden? Peppermint is the leader of the pack. It is aggressive. Never, ever plant this directly in your ground soil, unless you want a peppermint lawn forever. It spreads by underground runners called rhizomes. Start it in a pot now, and keep it in a container forever. Just inhaling the steam from fresh leaves in the morning wakes up your mind faster than coffee. Growing it indoors now gives you a head start on fresh tea leaves, but keep your eye on it. It's a wild one. Finally, we have the sunshine, Calendula. This flower embodies joy, optimism, and the solar plexus chakra. If you have winter blues, this is the antidote. Its flavonoids and carotenoids are incredible for skin repair and gut healing. It literally seals the cracks in your skin and your gut lining. It brings the energy of the sun down into your physical body. Now, you might assume a sunshine plant needs light to sprout, but there is a catch. Calendula seeds actually prefer darkness to germinate. It's a little counterintuitive. Cover your seed tray with a piece of cardboard or black plastic until you see them pop up. Once they bloom, infuse the flowers in oil. It creates a golden salve that heals cuts, scrapes, and a weary spirit. Starting them now means you will have these golden blooms right when the spring shifts, bringing that solar energy into your home. So, you have your seeds, your fridge strategies, and your heat mats, but here's the piece of the puzzle that most people miss. You are creating a nursery, not a jungle. Yet, these seedlings are babies. They need a soil chef, a sterile seed starting mix, not heavy potting soil. Heavy soil will crush their tiny roots like a weight. And lighting. A windowsill usually isn't enough in February. They will get leggy and weak, reaching for the sun like desperate teenagers. Invest in a simple LED grow light. Think of it this way, you are building an ecosystem, not just a garden. Give them 14 hours of light a day, and when spring finally hits, don't just throw them outside. Imagine walking out to your garden in 3 months. Instead of bare soil and fatigue, you are greeted by sage, Tulsi, and Echinacea. You didn't just buy herbs, you grew a relationship with them from day one. You built a sanctuary. You created a space that heals you back. Now, if you want to know exactly how to arrange these for the best spiritual flow in your home, where to put the Tulsi versus the Rosemary, you need to watch my video on top 10 spiritual plants to attract positive energy. Or, if you are looking to bring more green inside permanently to keep that healing vibe going year-round, check out 10 indoor plants for healing. Trust me, you don't want to miss those. They are the perfect companions to what we started today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more garden guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.